Sometimes it smells bad. I used to be afraid to look at my checking account. This is difficult. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Yes. Throughout the past 7 or 8 videos, we discussed why I came to Houston, but we never really got to talk about how I got here. Now y'all know that I've been a baddie on a budget, so we're just gonna get right into how did I manage to prepare myself to get ready to move and how did I actually do it. The first step was to actually do research. Just because the name of a certain city sounds good doesn't mean that it is as good as it sounds. So you definitely want to look up, which, I don't want to say zip codes because zip code is really for the post office, but you want to look up what regions and areas and neighborhoods are safe and which are more dangerous. The neighborhoods that are the cheapest to live at a lot of the times are the more dangerous ones. And when I say danger, I basically mean that a lot of crime takes place in the area. Now that's not true for everywhere, but I found it to be true for Houston. Another thing that you want to do research on is what is the weather like in your city of interest. For Houston, the weather is pretty much warm and humid all the time, but one thing that I noticed is that it's cloudy a lot because it's a lot closer to the Gulf Coast. And another thing is that it floods a lot here. So certain cities and areas that you choose, they'll have their own little idiosyncrasies attached to them. So join a Reddit group, look at some Facebook groups in your city, just try to figure out what the city is like from the people that actually live there. Another thing that I found out about my city before I moved there was I looked at what is the quality of water. I know for a lot of y'all don't care, but for me in Austin, the water was so clean that you could just drink it straight out the tap and it'll taste like a bottle of Aquafina. Like it tasted exactly the same. Whereas somewhere like Jersey, if you tried to drink it out the sink, it would taste really nasty. Here in Houston, I would not even dare drinking the water out of the sink because sometimes it smells bad. Like sometimes it doesn't smell like anything, and then other times it smells like the bayou. I didn't get upset that the water was like that because I already did the research beforehand and found out that the water was gonna stink sometimes. Okay, the next thing you want to look into is how much is it actually going to cost you to move. I wish that I could sit here and tell y'all that you don't really need any money, but you know and I know that you gonna have to take out the time to save. Now you might not want to, you might want to use your credit card to do everything if you have a credit card. I have done that in the past as a military spouse. Normally whenever we had to PCS, we would move to the city first and then the military would back pay us, like reimburse us for that money. So for some reason we were not good financial stewards, okay? We were really young and stupid, so a lot of times we would use our credit card and take out loans from the bank and stuff just to be able to afford to move. And I just want to tell y'all, moving is not that serious, okay? If you don't have the money, just be patient and save. Like just don't do it, because once you get there, there will probably be other things that you would like to spend that money on that you could have used your credit card or that loan for, like, new furniture and I don't know, like a new TV or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? A new washer and dryer or something. I don't know. So a good rule of thumb that I learned is the 10-10-30-50 rule. So 10% of your money will go to tithes if you tithe, but if not, then 20% would go to your savings account as soon as you get paid. But if you do tithe, it would be 10% towards tithes, 10% towards your savings account, 30% towards your incidentals, such as, gas, groceries, if you got a Holy shirt, you get a new work shirt or whatever, and then 50% or the rest of the income will go towards your bills. Now, a lot of people are not making enough money to where 50% of their pay would be enough to cover the bills, so of course that would eat away at how much you would have to go to the grocery store or to put away to savings. The best thing that I can basically say is look into your checking account. Don't be afraid to look at it. Because for me personally, I used to be afraid to look at my checking account. I didn't like the possibility of knowing that there might not be anything in there, so I just never really looked at it. But you definitely want to look at it. You definitely want to be able to track where is all your money going. Like, the money ain't just grow legs and walk away from your bank account. When I was younger, I think I started at saving $50 a month. That's a good place to start, but it's gonna take you a while to get there if you only do $50 a month. So now to the more interesting costs. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to actually look at the apartment. You want to go and give it a tour. So you got to figure out, okay, how much is it going to cost me to drive to that new city and tour that apartment, and how much is it going to cost me to get back. I think you can use the app called Gas Buddy to help you determine how much the cost would be. And apparently they cutting off the gas and raising the gas prices, so it's probably going to be a lot more different now. And then if your new city is like across the country, then definitely you got to look into how much is it going to cost to catch a plane there and back, or a train, or a bus. I guess I wouldn't recommend catching a bus, but if that's your thing, then hey, do it. Then once you finally find, you know, the neighborhood or the apartment that you like, you want to reach out to that landlord or leasing agent and ask them, okay, how much is the application fee? How much is the security deposit? If you have a pet, how much is the pet deposit and the pet rent? Are there any administrative fees? Are there any maintenance fees? Okay, when I first moved to Texas, I used a renter's insurance company called Lemonade, and the renter's insurance was only $6 a month. Oh, and just keep in mind that this video is mostly for people who are looking to rent a place in a new city. Right now I don't have a lot of information about how to buy a home in a new city, but eventually I will have that information, because your girl is currently saving up for down payments and closing costs and all that, because, you know, I'm trying to invest in real estate, you know. So the next thing that you want to look into is credit. How much it's going to cost for you to move depends greatly on your credit score. So if your credit score is bad, then your security deposit is probably going to be something like 2 times the rent. So if your rent is $800 a month, then your security deposit is going to be like $1,600. But if your credit score is excellent, or if that apartment community or townhouse place, whatever, is running a special, then you'll be able to get that security deposit for a very special low price. Okay, so the next thing you gotta research are the electric companies in that area. Whew, I know this is a lot. Sometimes you could be able to ask the landlord, hey, which electric company do you recommend, or which electric company do people in this area use? For Texas, there's like a marketplace online for a list of all the different electric companies that exist in this area that service this address. I just went with the one that had the best ratings and the best price for how much I use. All the electric companies, you know, they charge a different rate per kilowatt hour, and the average is 1,000 kilowatt hours. But if you run the AC all day long, then your kilowatt usage is probably going to be a lot higher than 1,000. Whereas if you resort to just using fans and keeping all the lights off, then you can easily just, you know, be using 500 kilowatt hours. This is difficult. Like, in my mind, doing this video was going to be a lot easier than what it actually turned out to be, but I'm still going to try my best to try to tell y'all all the information that you need to know that you probably didn't think of before. So you want to look up the different internet service providers in your area. You have a lot of different options to choose from, so now you got to figure out, how are you going to get all of your stuff to the new place? Well, there's a few different ways that you can go about doing it. The first way is to send it through the mail. You can pack up all of your stuff in boxes and have FedEx ship all of your items to the new address, and for them to have it there after you get there, so that all of your boxes aren't just sitting around in the lawn and at risk of getting stolen and things like that. I've done that before. From Colorado to New Jersey, we just sent all of our clothes and things across the nation using FedEx, and then FedEx ended up delivering it to the wrong address. Like, they actually put it inside of somebody else's apartment. It was an empty apartment and they thought it was our storage space. We were so mad about that. But anyway, okay, so boxes is one way to do it. I know that they have those really big like pod trailer things, and you can use those, and then I guess a tractor trailer will come and pick it up and then drive it down to your new location. I would say use that if you have a lot of like heavy stuff, like big tall dressers and chinas and washers and dryer, like ooh. Another option is to hire movers. If you're looking to move within the same state, then this might be a affordable and easy option for you. That'll be the option that I use the next time, because y'all saw in my other video that I moved all my stuff myself using a U-Haul. And that's another option for you as well. And then the final way is to basically just sell most of your stuff, pack what you can, and take what you can with you in your luggage, whether that's on a plane or in your car or whatever method that you're using to travel. A lot of times when people are moving out of their parent houses and going to a new place because of college or because of a new job, they typically don't bring a lot of stuff with them. Especially if you're gonna come back and visit and you're still gonna have your bedroom in your parents' house, then it's not really necessary for you to bring all of your stuff with you. And then the final step after that is to just let the post office know that you're moving. You wanna definitely let them know at least a week or two in advance. I would say a week, so that they can start forwarding the mail to the new address. And if they miss any mail pieces and it's left at your old address, you're still there to be able to collect it and things like that. You're gonna need to change your ID, and that might cost some money as well. For Texas, it's $11, and you have to do it within 30 days of moving. And that's for people who live in Texas or who move to Texas like as a transplant. You only got 30 days to change your ID. You gotta register your car in the new state as well. For Texas, car registration costs $75 a year, and my renewal is coming up, so they about to take a big wet bite out of my pocket. So, and that's pretty much it. I can't really think of what all else that I had to do besides, you know, just unpacking and having basically, you know, quick meals ready to eat in the fridge so that I wouldn't have to worry about cooking and things like that for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, there will be some changes happening on this channel. My channel name has changed, my logo, my whole brand is about to change. The content that I'm talking about on this channel is about to change. I feel that I've grown much bigger than just talking about, you know, body shaming on here. I feel that there's a lot of other things in life that has happened that should be discussed, because I feel like it can help somebody else out. Now that we've discussed how to move, we're gonna start talking about how to move on, because there's a lot of us out here who are holding on to things, people, ideas, all that from the past. I plan to be able to help some people, you know, move beyond some of those things. Got some pretty interesting stories to tell. I'm gonna be completely transparent on this channel so that y'all can get to know me a little bit better, and so that we can just learn and grow and love and become better people all together. So, not gonna take up too much of y'all's time. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, share this video, comment below, tell your friends all about it, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.